Four men with different viewpoints take a movie, show, or documentary and review it uncensored, unfiltered, uncompromised, with no holds barred. Join BS3, Wilkes, King Dog, and H-Rap-B as they take on Hollywood their own way. BS3 Network proudly presents The Forecast, where H-Rap-B always predicts,
if I owe you something, I ain't got it. And if you need it, get it from God.
live every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
The original Think Drink is back. Level up with proven ingredients formulated to crush your competition. No gimmicks, no jitters, no messing around. Just high-potency results that keep you moving day or night. There's a new nerd in town, and we came to play. Nerd Focus. Smarter than energy.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. That's when I found this, the Brux Night Guard. Now, the Brux Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brux Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to BruxNightGuard.com and order yours today.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the high five strangers got. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extra berth. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Here's an important
on your mark, get set, let's go.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning! Kevin Durant, you should have left California.
This brownsexual upset me in having to bring this teenage idiot from Wisconsin into a sports conversation. Are you really surprised the Cowboys are giving up on Ezekiel Elliott?
Whoa. Hell no! Well, no one cares about baseball.
Bitch, are you for real?
Oh, yeah! Let's get this party started. Good morning.
We welcome y'all to the fabulous, fantastic, football, freaky Friday edition of Snowman in the Morning on the eve of Mother's Day weekend. We hope y'all enjoy your Mother's Day weekend. Cole Johnson joins me. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing fabulous, my man. Got a full night's sleep. Got some coffee brewing going on. My wife's doing better, but she's taking the day off to rest some more. And we got some things planned for the weekend, and I got a little something planned for her for Mother's Day. And man, the chat is already lit up. Victor Locke's in the house with us. We got a special announcement about him in a minute. Sick Diggy joins us from Norway, I will let you do the first ad.
This Friday edition of Snowman in the Morning is brought to you by Stupid University in association with Me Fi Me Fraternity,
where everyone graduates magna cum stupid. That was so brilliant. And today, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, Vikala will join me as we present the premiere episode of the Friday Musings of Vikala. And all I got to say is, hold on to your hats.
All I have to say is,
well, the title's out there. Victor's like, I'm not doing this. God. And then he saw the title and he said, all right, let's go for it.
The Friday Musings of Vikala. Oh, Lord.
Well, I can't say Friday Musings of Vikala because they may change each week. But welcome to those of you on WLEO 26.7 in Baltimore. Uh-oh.
That's exactly what I was thinking, Victor. Yes. Oh, my gosh.
I'm thinking I'm going to laugh for an hour.
That name just was that I did not mean that for that name to stick, Victor.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You know you did. My God. You're a genius, remember? Stuff that you come up with just happens to work.
Yeah, I guess it does.
Such as wait.
Oh, Lord.
Some of the things you come up with just happens to work. Such as
this coffee with McCarthy is sponsored by Steph Curry Cognac. One, and it's lights out.
And yes, LeBron, it is you. It has always been you. It always will be you. And
this Braun Session Confession is brought to you by Braun Joy Juice. Braun Joy Juice. The ultimate joy juice of bronzexuals worldwide. Made with 100% organic seal milk.
Organic seal milk. Shut up. Organic seal milk. Folks, the musings of a genius. Okay? And you said that so fast. Made with 100% organic seal milk. Mm-hmm. I try rehearsing that in the mirror and I laugh every time I say
it. And I didn't speed it up, so I was like, okay.
No, that was natural. I can tell you didn't speed it up.
Mm-hmm.
Made with 100% organic seal milk. I can do play-by-play for 2.5 hours and I can't say that line.
Right.
I should hate you for that, but I don't. But the most genius thing of all.
In a world where partial greatness is celebrated and total greatness is shunned, there stands to be a figure on the lips of those who love him and those who hate him. The inane comparisons to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant continue and has existed since 2003. There is no end in sight, for the battle between those who unconditionally love and unconditionally hate him wages on. These are their stories. Welcome to the Bronzexual Confessions.
I'm telling y'all, the first time I saw that on Cole Sports on the Daily, I died laughing.
That was made with such a labor of hate. Yeah.
And why do some people classify it as a labor of hate?
I can't say it was labor of love. I'd be lying if I say it was labor of love.
Then I will say that is a labor of necessity.
Okay.
Can we compromise with that?
Okay, well, we can roll with that. Labor of necessity.
Labor of necessity.
Because I surely didn't love doing it.
I would ask why, but I already know the reasons.
The last two words of the ad of the segment should let you know.
Listen, like I said, I would ask why, but that would be a stupid question because I already know the reason, and B, you and I know the same people that act that way.
That's the real shame of it all.
And C, more of them seem to pop up every week.
Even adding to the atrocity that is that sect. That sect.
Yes. The only day we're allowed to curse.
Oh my gosh.
All right, two stories to look at. Let's go. This is the Whip Around presented by Fanatics. Dear Phoenix, you suck. Anthony Davis may play tonight. Uh-oh. The Colts, the Falcons, the Texans, and the Cardinals have no primetime games this year.
Unfortunately, they left out the Bears. Other than that, I like that.
Actually, not only should they have left out the Bears, well, we'll make fun of the Bears all season long anyway. Next. Mark Jackson apologized that he left Nikola Jokic off of his MVP ballot. Wait a minute. Hold up. Where is that thing?
I think you're looking for this.
You fool! It's exactly what I'm looking for. Thank you. Mark Jackson. You fool! Or as Ray says, Mark Jackson. You fool! And now a selection from the Wonder Bread Choir for Mark Jackson entitled, You Fool! That, of course, is the extended version. Ryan McCarthy in the house. Good morning, Snow Crew. This playoff exit is brought to you by Heartbreak Hostels. When you need a getaway after your team is eliminated, Heartbreak Hostels will host that broken heart.
And speaking of that, receipt, please, sir.
What?
Not you, Mr. McCarthy.
Mr. McCarthy. Okay. Because I picked Carolina. They were too much on when I did bet slips on that series. They were too much on a roll. And now they're in the Eastern Conference Finals, and I say whoever they play in the Eastern Conference Finals, they're going to get swept.
They probably roll over them too. Yeah,
they're going to get swept. Skip that. They're going to get swept. Carolina is too hot right now.
Which unfortunately, I know a pistol that means it'll be your Panthers. I don't think those Maple Leafs will come back from a 3-0 deficit to win. So yeah,
they better not, because if that's the case, I'll have to get producer Clark on here. I got to get producer Clark back on the air anyway. We just haven't figured out a schedule because we usually tape in the afternoons. But he is a proud papa, and he has 2 little girls that he takes to and from school. So that is ain't nothing wrong with that at all. Ain't nothing wrong with that at all. Hell, I got grandchildren. See, we just gotta figure that out. By the way, New Jersey Devils, you fool! And we gotta do something else for the New Jersey Devils. And I don't have the video of this, but Ryan McCoffey, you gonna hate me for this, but for the Devils, ready and pull, Trash. They only claimed one game in that series.
You fool!
Only one. And they shouldn't have claimed that one. This is the Whip Around presented by Fanatics. Ay, caramba. Ay, caramba. Sam Shady will join us at the bottom of this hour. In fact, I'm getting stuff to him now. And Ben Sutter will join us at the top of hour 2. And you all know what's coming at the bottom of hour 2. I don't need to say anything more. I got to get something to drink. This is Snowman in the Morning, presented by Fanatics and presented by Invader Coffee. We're back in a minute.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
There's a 100% chance of a laugh thunderstorm. 4 men with different viewpoints take a movie, show, or documentary and review it uncensored, unfiltered, uncompromised, with no holds barred. Join BS3, Wilkes, King Dog, and H-Rap B as they take on Hollywood their own way. BS3 Network proudly presents The Forecast, where H-Rap B always predicts,
if I owe you something, I ain't got it. And if you need it, get it from God.
live every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
The original Think Drink is back. Level up with proven ingredients formulated to crush your competition. No gimmicks, no jitters, no messing around. Just high-potency results that keep you moving day or night. There's a new nerd in town, and we came to play. Nerd Focus. Smarter than energy.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. That's when I found this, the Brux Night Guard. Now, the Brux Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brux Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to BruxNightGuard.com and order yours today.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extra berth. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
'Cause we take this job so serious.
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
I am sorry about that. Sometimes technology just absolutely sucks. My internet went out here on this end, and I completely apologize. Andrew, welcome to you as we go inside the feedback zone. Had a few minutes span in the second period, up 2-1. When we got a barrage of chances, we should have made it at least 3, probably more so 4-1, and it came back and cost us. Of course, talking about the Devils. And Ryan, I am powering through it. We are powering through it. And to Sick Diggy's question, and thank you, Chris Bass, for this.
What in the all types of blue
In the immortal words of one Howie Rose, oh man, this is getting ridiculous. And it is getting ridiculous. Again, so many apologies to y'all tuning in, trying to tune in. I am dealing with a very, very horrible circumstance right now. And we'll be here until, thank you, Victor. Well, and Sick Diggy says, well, today is Freaky Friday, so it we're rolling in accordance with Murphy's Law. Yeah, anything that can't go on. God damn. I nearly cussed. I'm so sorry. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. Hawk TV says all good. Thank you. Oh my heavens. Let me make an adjustment. Stand by. Okay. This seems to be better. I just got a new microphone and getting everything situated. Well, they're going to game 6 in the Dallas Stars Seattle Kraken series as Roop hints at 2 goals and an assist. Joe Pavelski scored his 7th goal of the second round series, and Jason Robertson assisted on all the goals by his primary line mates in a 5-2 win over the Seattle Kraken in Game 5 on Thursday. Game 6 will come your way on Saturday, and ESPN will have the call, and it is a 7 p.m. Eastern Time face-off. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to test my hockey chops and do a live reaction, and I'm going to do a live reaction and play-by-play call of that game. I'm going to test my hockey chops. Screw it. It's Friday. We're off the rails. We're not off the air. Thank the Lord for that. Getting all my radio stations back on. And again, all I can do is apologize profusely up to this point. Let's take a break while we scramble to get everything back together and get back in the pocket and start passing beautifully. This is one of those times where you just got to breathe. And for those of you watching on CSTV and CSTVnow.com, tremendous apologies to y'all and tremendous apologies to those on BS3 TV. Let's take a break, then we'll get Sam Shady in here to talk some XFL championship when you all get back.
This planet has been great to me. It's given me gifts that I can't even explain. It's given me adventures and memories I'll never forget. And Battleborn, I think, has given me the opportunity to go beyond and give something back. How can I be a better custodian to this planet and the place I live? That's where I am with Battleborn. Let's make the planet a better place.
I'm in another lane. I'm a different breed. I'm everything you can never be. I'm next level. Next level.
Thursday nights are wrestling night on CSTV. Tune in every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific to see all the amazing Next Level Pro Wrestling stars on Thursday Night Throwdown on CSTVnow.com and the CSTV app on your Roku device.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
There's a 100% chance of a laugh thunderstorm. 4 men with different viewpoints take a movie, show, or documentary and review it uncensored, unfiltered, uncompromised, with no holds barred. Join BS3, Wilkes, King Dog, and H-Rap B as they take on Hollywood their own way. BS3 Network proudly presents The Forecast, where H-Rap B always predicts,
if I owe you something, I ain't got it. And if you need it, get it from God.
live every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
The original Think Drink is back. Level up with proven ingredients formulated to crush your competition. No gimmicks, no jitters, no messing around. Just high-potency results that keep you moving day or night. There's a new nerd in town, and we came to play. Nerd Focus. Smarter than energy.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. That's when I found this, the Brooks Night Guard. Now, the Brooks Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brooks Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to BrooksNightGuard.com and order yours today.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extra berth. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
'Cause we take this job so serious. 'Cause we take this job so serious.
Now batting, hitting the bong later, but drinking of his coffee mug. Number 420, Wise El Jefe. Number 420.
How'd to do it?
What in the all types of blue hell?
Yes, it's Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Sorry for those technical difficulties. Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson back on the air. And yes, and I will do this on behalf of my partner. I'm so sorry this happened. And now that we are back on track, here we go. As he joins us every Friday morning on hour number 1, it is Sam Shady, the man in charge of the Shady Sports Network. How are you, sir?
Doing great. Thank you for having me.
The XFL Championship is in San Antonio, Texas, in the Alamo Dome. And it's the expected DC Renegades, who have been the best team all year, and the most unexpected team in the Arlington Renegades. Let's start with the Arlington Renegades, because we know DC's story. Sam, talk to us about the Arlington Renegades. How the hell did they get to San Antonio?
Well, this is a case of getting hot at the right time. I mean, you look at the Renegades, and their offense has been trash all season long. Trash all season long. So I definitely think that it was kind of a surprise to everybody when they made the championship game. But when you ultimately look at what they were able to do last week against the Roughnecks, it was very encouraging. I mean, it was the first time they scored 20 points or more on offense all season long. And it came at the hands of Luis Perez, who is their new quarterback. Spring football veteran, a guy who's not going to get flapped or worried in the game. You know, he's going to stay calm, cool, and collected. And I think this is a perfect example of any given Sunday, any team can win.
Absolutely. It's because I called DC and Houston for the XFL Championship, and Arlington had other plans. Speaking of DC and the Beer Snakes and the Defenders, what about this team?
The DC Defenders have been far and away the best team in the XFL all season long, and it hasn't even been close. They ended 9-1 for a reason, because that roster was built to perfection. They did a great job of bringing in players that fit the scheme that Reggie Barlow wanted to run, that Greg Williams wanted to run on defense, and it meshed extremely well. Von Hutchins deserves Director of Player Personnel of the Year, in my personal opinion, and Reggie Barlow is by far the head coach of the year.
Okay, I keep hearing voices. Who's the little one in the background, man? Who's joining you today?
That is my youngest.
Tell me, what's the youngest name? Let's give him let's give him a shout.
His name's Chandler. He's 2 years old.
Hi, Chandler. We love you. We keep hearing little Chandler in the background. So Chandler, this is a shout out from us to you. Sam Shady joining us. Oh, I hear little Chandler. Chandler and Sam joining us, talking spring football. USFL entering week number 5. In your eyes, Sam, who's been the best team so far in the USFL as we hit the halfway point?
Well, that would, of course, have to be the New Orleans Breakers, who are still undefeated, led by former CFL quarterback McLeod Bethel Thompson, who has been unbelievable so far this season. He's currently on pace to pass for over 2,700 yards. For anybody who doesn't know, last season, Jordan Teamu set the record for the USFL with just barely over 2,000 yards. So MBT is set to smash that to pieces, and it is going to be very interesting because I think we'll see as many as 3 quarterbacks top the passing yard leader from last season this year.
Yeah, because the passing game for the USFL and some of the teams involved, including New Orleans, is off the charts now. It seems like, in general, that the USFL teams have learned how to get better with their passing games, have they not?
No, I think that's a perfect assessment. I think that many teams understood that the offensive lines were holding them back after this past season. And unfortunately, it looks like my team, the Stars, were the only team that didn't do enough on the offensive line to really improve their unit. They focused more on the weapons, and it just hasn't panned out for them so far.
Sam Shady joining us here from the Shady Sports Network. And let me throw Sam some love here. Sam, you came along at a time when Snowman Multimedia needed you, and you offered your platform. And I got nothing but love for you and nothing but thanks for you. Your channel just topped 700 subscribers. I'm very excited for you, my man.
Thank you, sir. It's been a long journey. If I'm being completely honest, I didn't expect it to be this difficult, but it turns out that it is incredibly difficult to hit that magic 1,000 number and get the fans subscribing. So, I mean, it's kind of funny to think that like so many people might watch the channel, but the vast majority of the people who are watching are actually not subscribed. So I'm not quite sure what prevents people from hitting that one little button that's completely free, but it's all good. We'll figure it out as we continue to go. I will say that if you watch the channel and you're watching now, keep in mind we are open to suggestions. If there's something you want to see that we're not giving you, let us know. I mean, we're here for you guys at the end of the day.
Please, and that's for all channels involved. That's for myself, Snowman Multimedia, and the 2 other channels I have for my shows. That's for Shady Sports Network. That's for Cole Sports. Hit that button, hit that subscribe button, and help us all get monetized, because that is the main goal that we have. As Cole Johnson rejoins us here. Well, he did for a moment. We're still having internet issues. We're still having connection issues. We apologize. Cole is back with us. And inside the USFL, and Dietz and I talked about this. You mentioned something that the USFL must do, and that is to step up their ticket sales, because anyone that's watched the game knows they tarp off a lot of the seats in the stadiums that they're in, which kind of surprised me, especially at Ford Field when they support the Michigan Panthers, but yet they have small crowds there. Talk to me.
Well, I think part of the reason that the Ford Field crowds look smaller than they might really be is the fact that that stadium is massive for alternative football standards. I mean, we're talking about a stadium that holds like 70,000 people, and we're talking about a league, that's competing with the XFL, and their best attendance, which was by far one of the biggest numbers we've ever seen in alternative football, was like 35,000 fans. Right. So if that's your peak number, you were never going to look at Ford Field and think that it was full. I mean, we're getting half the capacity at an absolute maximum, and that's, best case scenario. So I think that, what we saw out of these 4 hubs was maybe not what we had hoped. But for me to sit here and say that I was expecting a night and day difference from last season would be a complete and utter lie. At the end of the day, I understood that with only 4 teams going to market and 3 teams going to the hubs that they represent in terms of their team name, we were still going to see a drop-off from at least 5 teams in the league. And while we have seen some increased attendance in Canton and stuff like that, it's not been as much as I had hoped. Is it discouraging? Absolutely it is. But at the same time, I think that by the time we get all 8 teams into cities, this is no longer going to be an issue. We'll have comparable attendance numbers to the XFL, and in the meantime, the USFL will have spent less money than the XFL to get to year 3.
And that's the key. And you brought that up in the chat that I had with Dietz on the afternoon show, and it's a very, very wonderful point. The team I'm looking for to have big crowds when they get in their home stadiums in year 3 is New Orleans, because I'm thinking they're either going to play at Tulane or they're going to play the Superdome. And inside the Superdome, and Superdome is massive. Hello, New Orleans Saints. What's that crowd going to be like if they have success this year and all the way to the championship? What's that crowd going to be like if they win and if they get there?
I personally think New Orleans is going to be one of the better markets when they finally get there. They're very dedicated to the Saints. The Breakers have been extremely good. They've got recognizable names. You talk about MBT like I just did. But really what I didn't say is Wes Hills has been unbelievable in the backfield for them. He's actually on pace currently to rush for just under 1,000 yards on the season. To put that in perspective, I think the rushing yard leader last season did just over 500 yards. So he's again set to smash this record. And in my personal opinion, this entire offensive performance is completely due to the fact that they have the best coach in the USFL, in my opinion, in John DeFilippo. I always thought he would make for a really good NFL head coach. Some circumstances in the NFL with the teams that he went to ultimately kind of held him back. He ended up with the Chicago Bears a couple years ago and Matt Nagy, which we all know how that ended. But I think he's personally a guy to watch for NFL interest down the line once again.
Yeah, I know. I like that. I like that assessment. Speaking of assessments, your Philadelphia Eagles, my man. They had. I know we talked about this before, but I wasn't present. But we'll talk about it here. Your Philadelphia Eagles, my second adopted NFC team, had one hell of a draft, my man. It seems like the sting of losing the Super Bowl, in essence, pissed them off. So they drafted every Georgia player they can get their hands on, including Jalen Carter, who's going to be a wrecking ball on that Philadelphia defense. And I'll tell you all a funny story. When I was doing the draft and I saw Jalen Carter get drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles, the thing I said was it's going to be Philly and San Francisco again in the NFC Championship. And I also put that out online, and people thought I was crazy. But if you look at what San Francisco has done with the undrafted free agents, they filled the need that they needed to fill, and that was the offensive line. The Eagles took care of their defensive line through the draft. The 49ers did it through undrafted free agents. So, Sam, I come to you. Do we see a repeat of the NFC Championship? So far, I say yes.
It wouldn't shock me. I really liked what the Eagles did in the draft. I think they identified need and talent and went after their guys. I mean, yeah, it happened to be that we drafted several Georgia players, but I mean, I don't think anybody's sitting here and arguing that Nolan Smith isn't potentially the best and most highest potential pass rusher coming out of this draft. I mean, with what he did in the combine, he lit it up. Jalen Carter, same thing. He can push a pocket, and he can be that pass rushing presence that we need from the interior when Fletcher Cox eventually moves on. I think pairing Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis was an incredibly smart move going forward, because as everybody knows, we lost Javon Hargrave to the 49ers.
Yeah.
So we needed to replace that pass rusher on that interior defensive line, and we were able to do so. We still have Cox, like I said, to give him that 1 year of kind of learning the defense like the Philly likes to do.
Yeah.
And I firmly am encouraged by what we did. I have my questions about drafting Nolan Smith that high, but with his potential as an athlete, it's something that I see the logic behind. I mean, he could potentially be, a generational talent as a pass rusher. So for us to get that guy as late as we did, you can't really pass up on a guy like that.
Taking a look at the Eagles, schedule, your preseason goes Ravens, then Browns, and then you see the Indianapolis Colts, and that's the last preseason game until September 10th, when you travel to New England and host the Patriots in an afternoon game. Let's look at parts of the schedule, and I want to start with the season opener. You get the New England Patriots, who to me is a team in shambles because they don't know what they're going to do at quarterback. They haven't fixed their offensive line. And gentlemen, how many times have we spoken about offensive line here on this program? It just seems to me, Sam, that your Eagles, our Eagles, and yes, I say our because they're my second adopted team in the NFC, are licking their chops to get this season started.
I would 100% agree. I mean, like you said, they've got a awful taste in their mouth based on how that Super Bowl ended. I'm not going to sit here and say that last play was controversial because it wasn't. It was holding. We lost the game fair and square, but at the same time, we still lost, and that leaves that taste in their mouth that, hey, we were this close again, and we lost. And that has happened to the Eagles so many times over my 20 years of being a fan that it irks me. So I can't imagine how players on the team feel. I can't imagine how Howie Roseman feels. So I think Howie came into the season knowing that he needed to pry open that Super Bowl window that was closing on them quickly, and he was able to do that. I mean, Jalen Hurts talked about it. He refused to take a fully guaranteed deal because he believed that this team could compete for another Super Bowl, and he's right.
Speaking of which, December 3rd, Sam and I will probably have a friendly bet on this as the defending West champion 49ers visit the defending NFC champion Eagles in what's going to be a slugfest. And I expect the 49ers to be fully healthy in this matchup and really give them the game that you and I both expected in the NFC Championship.
100%. I'm excited to revisit our bet from last season. Maybe we could do lunch or something.
You got it. And I will be happy. I will be happy to pay off that bet because I believe the Niners and the Eagles are going to be 1-2 again in the standings. And we'll talk 49ers at a later date. And I'll have you and Mike debate on. In fact, I got Mike debate on this afternoon. But clearly, Sam, Niners and Eagles, until somebody, touches them with the way they drafted, especially with the Niners going after the undrafted free agents, I don't think anybody in the NFC is going to touch them.
I agree 100%. I mean, you look at the undrafted free agents we brought in, and it only really further rounded out our draft class. And that goes for the 49ers and the Eagles. A lot of people want to sleep on these undrafted free agents because they weren't selected. There's like 1,500 players that come out of the draft every year. To sit here and say there's not talent left in those undrafted player pool is just false. It's just flat out false. It just takes more effort to find it.
Yeah. Diamonds in the rough, baby. Diamonds in the rough. And I owe you a salute. And here it is.
To victory. B-A-T-L-E.
The Monday after the NFC Championship. Oh wait, who just said hi? Who's that? Is that Chandler?
Yep, Chandler again.
Hi, Chandler. And the day after the Eagles beat us 31-7, I played that the entire show. In salute to you and your Philadelphia Eagles. That's Sam Shady joining us as he does every Friday at the bottom of hour one, talking all kinds of football, spring football, and more. And I expect you, Sam, to be one of my Eagles insiders for this upcoming season. What say you, sir?
You know you can count on me. I appreciate everything you guys do for me. And once again, thank you so much for kind of filling a hole in our show lineup. We really appreciate it. And look forward to what this partnership brings us both.
We appreciate you, and I personally appreciate you for letting Snowman in the Morning anchor your mornings and letting the Brian Snow Show anchor your afternoons. I really appreciate it, my man.
I would have no other way. Couldn't look for a better morning show on the planet as far as I'm concerned. You guys do amazing work. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sam. Appreciate you. Before we begin hour two, there's someone you need to introduce. I forgot about that. Oops. Now, let's try again.
Now betting, the man who is crossing his fingers and hoping that the Knicks win in South Beach, number 420, Wise El Jefe. Number 420.
Good morning, my brothers.
Good morning, Wise. How are you, my
brother?
I'm here. I'm good. I'm getting ready to pack up. We're going away for the weekend, so
sweet. Where y'all headed?
Atlantic City.
Atlantic City.
Bustelo's
the brew this morning?
Always. Bustelo's always the brew.
I
see Mr. McCoffey had to go and try Bustelo as well.
Yeah. Wise, I join you in a toast to Bustelo. Because now I can't stop drinking this stuff. Hour two with us drinking Bustelo and enjoying our morning coffee. Hour two starts right now.
Rocky Field Central. Lord have mercy.
Time for hour two of this spectacular. Ryan McCoffey now joins us this morning.
That's what you need to do to beat Josh Allen. You need to make him uncomfortable.
Hour two, time for some Spivey notes. And here's Jay.
Well, I know he's only in his third year, but they're just wasting Justin Herbert.
Hour two,
the hardest working content creator I know, the playmaker.
Hey, LeBron James, the greatest scorer of all time. Hey.
Hour two,
the one, the only Christopher Dietz.
They rewarded Ohio State for not playing, and they punished USC for playing.
Hour two, Sam Shady.
Oh, man. It's been a roller coaster ride if you were a Philadelphia Stars fan.
Hour two, that's Big Ben, the man in charge of the BS3 network.
And if I see Kurt 2 Chainz Cousins out.
Hour two, Chris Bay's joining us.
Oh my God! Oh, this game! Oh, way to go, Sammy!
Hour two, Wise El Jefe.
Oh man, I thought I missed it.
What in the all types of blue hell?
Time for hour two of this spectacular, and it starts right now. Yeah, baby! Everything has gotten settled.
Following is a public service announcement from Wise El Jefe.
Boston.
This has been a public service announcement from Wise El Jefe.
Do it again!
Hold on.
Do it again!
Hold on. So on the episode me and Poppy just recorded Poppy and White morning, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. In the while we doing the show, I actually said F Boston during the show, and I mentioned where it's from, where it originates from the mentality.
Yeah.
And I just felt like I had to say it to get it out to my system.
Good.
Do it again.
The following is a public service announcement from Wise El Jefe.
Boston.
This has been a public service announcement from Wise El Jefe.
I need that.
Thank you, man.
Me too. I need that.
I need you to send me that because
I need
that. I will send you that.
please send it to me as well, because I got a feeling I'm gonna wear that out.
I'm gonna
Video and audio, and that's in salute. That's in salute to Wise.
Yeah, definitely is in salute to
That's a
Wise.
salute to.
that's funny.
Listen,
That was good. That was a good one. I didn't expect that.
Let me throw Wise some
Thank you.
flowers here. Let me throw Wise some flowers here before we bring on Ben Sutter. Man, Wise and I were only supposed to talk 20 minutes on our first interview. Nah, 90 minutes later, we talked about a whole myriad of things. We're both laughing the whole time, and I suddenly looked at my clock that was on my desk, and I said, "Oh, we gotta go. We gotta finish this." And Wise just goes, "Why? We're having fun. Why?" I did have to keep a schedule, and I usually do. But Wise, I want you back on the program. It's gonna be unfiltered, and I'm not putting a time limit on it. I already know when I bring you back, all the filters are off, and so is the time. When we work it out, I'd love to have you back.
I look forward to it. I look forward
to it as well.
I'm gonna warn y'all. The next episode of Mentality, I'm gonna really enjoy it. They're gonna have a good time. Gonna have a hell of a time.
Is it gonna be better than the one y'all just put out?
It's just getting better and better. It
is, man.
It's just getting better.
It is. I
am so blessed. I am so blessed to work with the evil genius because he knows what he knows. Here you go, buddy. Take that.
Oh my gosh!
Listen, when mentality first dropped, I told Cole immediately I must have it A on my station and B in the podcast center, and I said the same thing to Wise, and both of these gentlemen, gracious as they are, were like, "Man, go for it. Put it on your programming." So you can hear Mentality 5 nights a week at 10 p.m. with the latest episode premiering Mondays, and then the rest of the week we do other episodes. And for Wise and Wise alone, let me see if I can get the proper voice. 2 things before we go on. One, first of all, who the buys Bud Light anyway? Which had me falling out of my seat.
It's piss water. Yeah,
it is.
It's just piss water.
It's just straight up water.
It is.
I knew what you said.
The last episode I had fun. It was.
Oh God, it
was one of my funniest for me.
You can't teach Cole. What we say off the air? You can't teach comedic timing like Wise has. You can't. To think, in many ways, Wise is still a pup at this.
Yeah,
but he's growing. Wise, you are growing, my man.
It's the confidence that I get from working with you guys. I get from you. I get from Cole. And then when Cole just lines me up, like he just, here you go, take it. And I'm like,
a lob to you for you, Wise. A lob to Ewing from Starks,
bro.
How's that?
I'm having so much fun. And the crazy thing was, right? So the first time we recorded the show,
right
at the end of the show, I was beaming from ear to ear. I was so happy and so excited because I knew that this show and Cole was like, "Why are you smiling so hard?" Because I had a blast doing the show, and I knew that we had something here.
Yes,
and so couple of episodes later, I see Cole grinning from ear to ear. And I'm like, so now you see what I see.
Both of you grinning from ear to ear do me wonderful, wonderful, wonderful things. Do me all kinds of justice in trusting both of you guys, because both of you have given me some very sound advice. Hell, Cole did it this morning. And like I said, I got a new microphone and I'm learning the adjustments with the mixer that I have. I'm probably going to wind up changing mixers because I have a new one on the way. The studio, and I got another one on the way for my road set, and I'm finally going to be able to get new headsets, like headset mics that'll be a little more comfortable and have a bigger microphone and mouthpiece like the ones y'all see on the air with CBS and NBC. Yeah, it's like Cole said, I'm a professional. It's time I started playing the role. Speaking of the role, here's Ben.
It's about time. And now we greet the owner number the operator of the BS3 network, the man who goes by the name of Benjamin Sudduth.
Hey, good morning, fellas. Man, I was enjoying you guys' conversation talking about mentality, and which I love the show as well, and I think it's well needed for men. Period. So it is definitely a timing show.
Thank you, Ben.
Man, mentality is off the hook each week, but like you said, Ben, it is needed. It is needed because there are so many things about men that people don't A, know, or B, understand.
Or C, respect.
Or C, respect. Thank you. And that one episode with Wise talking about women shunning us for making less than $1,000 a year.
No, for making $1,000.
For making
$1,000 a week.
For making $1,000 a week. For making $1,000 a week.
$1,000 a week. You broke if you make $1,000 a week.
When Wise went off on that subject, I played that for Jody. And Jody just came behind me and started massaging my shoulders, and knowing everything I've been through in the past 2 years, she goes, "You're going to exceed that, and I'm going to love it because you're going to be doing what you love to exceed that."
What sucked about that, though, was as wonderful as a message it was, all I could hear at the end of it was the following.
The following is a public service announcement from Wise El Jefe.
Boston.
This has been a public service announcement from Wise El Jefe.
You got that shot from 03, did you not, Cole?
Yeah, 03. Mm-hmm.
Was that Aaron Boone's walk-off?
Yeah, yeah. Brett effing Boone, yes.
That was Aaron Boone's walk-off. All right, let's talk some football with Benjamin Sudduth. The schedule is out.
And, so what do you think about the Cowboys schedule, sir?
Yeah. I think it's actually favorable, and this is the unofficial NFL holiday when the schedule comes out. This is the only sport,
pretty much,
where every news station pumps the brakes and does a schedule show. This is the only
professional sport. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I'm looking forward to week 5, obviously at San Francisco.
And we're kicking your ass.
Can we redeem ourselves? Yeah, can we redeem ourselves going in? We cannot seem to beat you guys. No matter who the quarterback is, no matter who the running back is, we cannot seem to beat you guys.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Ben. It's not, and I joke around with Ben a lot when it comes to Dallas and San Francisco. That's going to be a great matchup, but at the same time, considering the way the season ended for the Cowboys, week 5 could very well be a measuring stick for Dallas going into San Francisco.
Oh, it will be. Because if you look at, they got Giants, Jets, Cardinals, Patriots, and then 49ers. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be a measuring stick. And then when you look at week 15 at Buffalo, I think that's going to be another big-time game. The games in December and how much they count and what they mean.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, there's but I do think it's a favorable schedule, though. I think, obviously, you got the division opponents. Anytime we play Philly, we know it's going to be a battle. Anytime we play the Giants, it's going to be a battle. And anytime we play the Commanders, obviously, it's going to be a battle.
Right.
Look at last year. So I think it's definitely going to be a schedule that we cannot take lightly, and we got to go in with the determination to win every single game.
And speaking of the Commanders, you have them at home for Thanksgiving, and you end the season again with them in Landover. Do you like that, or do you think that it's those two contests are one that the Cowboys cannot take the Commanders lightly?
Oh yeah, we can't take the Commanders lightly. Period. Obviously, how they beat us at the end of last year, where we had all our starters in, like we were playing as if we were serious, but we didn't actually play like we were serious. I don't understand that. It's I love that matchup. I want to play our division rival the last game of the season because it's going to be something riding on it.
Yeah.
The Thanksgiving game, I mean, we can switch it up. It seems like we play around the same teams. I would be okay with a different team, but either way, that's the schedule, and we got to win whoever's on the schedule.
Yeah, you play the
Agreed.
teams on the
Agreed.
on the schedule, and that's something that I've held true to me since I started watching football. Thank you, Dad. And you know, a lot of people made fun of the 49ers schedule, saying, "Oh, the only reason y'all went 13-4 is because you had a favorable schedule." Everybody seems to forget.
You play what's on the schedule.
Everybody seems to forget that A, we started off 3-4, and B, we ran off the last 10. We ran off and won the last 10 games, including Seattle, where we clinched the division, including the Rams, beat the hell out of the Cardinals, beat up Tampa Bay and Tom Brady, and still, and you guys mentioned it to me, still no credit given to the 49ers, even now, for getting as far as they did.
It
Why
is a
you
simple.
gonna credit somebody for losing? Y'all lost at the end of the day. Y'all lost.
It's a simple case. It's a simple case of what, and this is the one thing I dislike about when people break down when teams have good runs, and it's all sports, but it's mostly in football. If a team goes on a good streak, people are saying, "Well, look at the schedule you played." It doesn't matter. Do they get paid? Yes. They're professional football players. So if you're beating a professional football team, I don't give a crap if you have the Bears scheduled for 18 weeks. If you beat the Bears for 18 weeks, guess what your record will be? 18-0. So it doesn't matter.
They had a great season. They had a great season.
Yeah, I'll say this.
We got beat up. Listen, we got beat up in Philadelphia, and I tell Sam that all the time. And Kevin, and a lot of other Eagles fans. The Eagles are my second adopted team in the NFC. Period. All right. That was the only game where I had no stake in the matter. Even though I was pulling for Frisco, I knew what we were getting into going to Philadelphia, and they were completely healthy. And then Hassan Reddick chopped the ball away from Brock Purdy, and that was the game.
Yeah.
Looking at the Cowboys' schedule, and I want to go back to a point that Ben made. You finish January 7th against the Redskins. There could be a division title on the line in that game. You pretty well could clinch early, but 4 weeks before you host Philadelphia, that's on December 10th. And you talk about a major
Sunday night, baby.
Sunday night football against the Philadelphia at Dallas. NBC has the call there, which means Mike Tirico's is on the call. Take a look at your division opponents, Ben, and give me a sense on A, what the Cowboys are feeling, and B, what could be done in your division against your division opponents.
Yeah, so I'll say this. The team is obviously thinking that they have to get past Philly. Philly is the leader in this division. I don't care what anybody says.
No
I
argument.
don't care what they say in their interviews. The fact
No
is,
argument at all.
Philly went to the Super Bowl. We are second to them. Period.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I think you have to go into the season knowing that you're going to have to beat Philly. 2 times would be great. But if you beat them 1-1, that would be fine. But you're gonna have to dominate Philly. I think to really be considered as a strong candidate for anything this season.
Right.
And don't forget about like the Giants. I mean, I think they're going to be even better this year. So this is not an easy division. I do think, obviously, with we play each team twice. I would love to go undefeated. I don't think that's realistic. So I may say.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you.
Yes.
I don't tell lies. Okay, I've been watching this team,
and we love for you doing that because, of course, as you know, a lot of fans in Cowboys Nation are so jaded.
I got a meme yesterday. The schedule came out, and my cousin that I always talk about, the Dallas Cowboy fan, he already started.
Oh, come on.
Oh, no.
What did he say?
He reminded me we lost 10 in a row, whatever. But it's like, okay, it's like the beginning of the season, bro. We haven't even, the season's not even here yet.
I'm about to say you got still 4 months before the season begins.
Yeah, training camp hasn't even started. Rookie camp haven't even started. Slow down.
Yeah, rookie camp hasn't started. OTAs are just completing, and nothing is in full motion yet. Nothing.
And he's already saying we're gonna go to. He's already giving it up. We're going Super right. We're going Super right. Already giving.
He's already starting that. He's already starting.
Let's welcome Information Man Show here this morning with us, and also Playmakers Blog Network. Playmaker, thank you, and A Pizzle joining us from Florida, where the Panthers look to take care of the Leafs. Speaking of hockey, how about those Dallas Stars last night? And yes,
one went away from the Western Conference Finals berth.
From the Campbell Conference Finals, and yes, these are 4 black men talking hockey. Yep. The Dallas Stars played one hell of a game last night. The American Airlines Center had the roof blown off the joint, and they held off Seattle because Seattle was charging hard. They got back in 3-2, but then they tacked on 2 insurance goals, including an empty netter, and they win the game 5-2. Game 6 Saturday in Seattle. So a quick 1-day turnaround. But
what makes it even more interesting? If the Kraken will win that game, Game 7 in Dallas will be Sunday,
Monday.
It will
it's scheduled for Sunday actually.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I had to do a double take. I'm like, wait a minute, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I wanted to look at that. But see, what I love about that is the fact, and I love the Stanley Cup. I love the Stanley Cup playoffs. Absolutely adore the Stanley Cup playoffs. Roop Hintz had 2 goals and an assist, and Jason Robertson. This is a key that Ben brought up in his pregame show. Jason Robertson had to be big in Game 5. He had a hand in all 5 goals last night.
Yeah, he did. And a lot of the criticism being that the amount of goals he scored during the season, and he hasn't scored one in the playoffs. So there's been some criticism, but to have 3 assists and have his hands involved in everything, that means more than him just scoring goals.
Right.
And I asked this question during the press conference to Coach DeBoer. What do you think about, Robertson getting the 3 assists? And he pretty much said, like, if you can have that on the stat sheet, I'll take that any day.
Yeah.
So I think he's getting close, but for me, it's not he's not forcing the situation. He knows his other teammates are able to get those goals and be in the right spots, and I think that speaks volumes to him and his leadership on this team. And back-to-back empty netters. Had another empty netter last game. So I mean, this team is on a dangerous in a good way pace of when they get knocked in the mouth, they come back the next game and they just completely forget about it.
Yeah,
they don't carry over what happened, and they play even better when they lose horribly because they lost. What was that? 7-2, 5-2.
Yeah, 7-2 in Game 3. Yeah,
7-2 in Game 3.
Most teams would not be able to respond well to that.
Listen, how many times did we mention that Seattle crowd before Game 3, and how loud that joint was going to get? 17,000 plus in Seattle, and they blew the roof off the place.
They lost their minds.
Say it again.
They lost their minds. They lost their minds. But I expect that from Seattle crowd.
And they're going to be even more.
Game 6.
Yes. Game 6 Saturday night.
Saturday night. Oh yeah, they're gonna be even more rabid.
With a 7 p.m. face off. And like I announced before, I lost my internet again. I'm going to test my hockey chops and do a live play-by-play and reaction. And Ben, I would love for your network to pick it up.
Yeah, we should be able to do that. I don't think we have anything scheduled.
Sweet. So y'all heard it. BS3 Network will pick me up in studio doing a live play-by-play call of Game 6 of the Dallas Stars and the Seattle Kraken Saturday night at 7 p.m. is the face-off, which means I might have to
that's
do
early
live.
Well, that's
Yeah.
early for Seattle. Wow.
It
okay.
is. It is, and I think that's the only Game 6 on the schedule. I believe that to be true because New Jersey got smacked in the mouth last night.
Yeah, they're eliminated.
I wanted to make sure Mr. McCarthy was okay.
Mr. McCarthy. Mr. McCarthy. Wait a minute. Mr. McCarthy has Mr. McCoffey. So I think he's all right. And speaking of Mr. McCoffey, he offers this thought: I'd rather have a player who is not scoring goals contribute positively in different ways than not contribute.
Oh yeah.
All. Are you
yes.
listening?
Yes.
Are you listening, Russell Westbrook?
Yes.
Are you listening, James Harden? Are you listening, Kyrie Irving?
Defense, assists. Yeah.
Are you
Totally.
I'm throwing shade to everybody.
Checking.
Are you listening? Are you listening, LeBron James? Yeah, I threw that name out there. But
Blocking. Yeah.
setting the screen.
Setting. Yeah.
Basketball. 5-4 was game 1's final. That came in overtime. Then the Stars tied it up 4-2. Go to Seattle. Kraken beat them 7-2 in game 3, and then the Stars respond with 6 of their own, double up the Kraken 6-3, and then they won game 5-2. Game 6 is set for Saturday, and should they go to a game 7, that is set for Monday. That is set for Monday night on the 15th. But I will do a live call of game 6 here in studio. I'm putting that on the schedule right now. I will make sure my family is settled and everything. But I plan to do that to get my chops in shape for hockey. I plan to do a basketball game. I think I'll cover the Western Conference Finals, and that's going to depend on days and dates and things like that. No matter who's playing, and that's for both sports. And I got to get my hockey chops in shape. Ben Sutter III joining us here on the program, talking all things Metroplex. The Metroplex Report with Ben Sutter.
Oh yeah, before you go, how are the Mavericks doing? I'm so sorry.
They're comfortable on the couch watching the playoffs.
I got a better question. We'll close with this on the Metroplex Report. Do they push the plunger and blow it up?
Please.
I think to a certain degree, yes. I don't think you blow the whole thing up because I think obviously Luka's going to be the corner piece. Everything else is
Luka's fine.
Flexible.
Yeah. Keep Luka. Keep Luka.
You keep Luka. You mark him safe from the explosion. But as far as everyone else goes, push the plunger and blow it up, please.
Yeah, and you need to Jason Kidd and Nico Harrison need to be on the same page because I think they brought in Christian Wood, and I don't think they were on the same page. And from there on, it kind of just imploded. So
they expected him to do there like what he did in Houston.
What he doesn't do, he doesn't play defense. Like why you get a guy that doesn't play
it's
defense?
A liability.
I'm sorry,
right? It's a liability. Exactly.
I'm sorry, Ben. Did you say he doesn't play defense? Did you?
He correctly said he doesn't play defense, which yes, I agree with you.
Well, that should have been my question. Let me reword it. Ben, did you correctly say he doesn't play defense?
That is correct.
Do you put how fast do you put Kyrie Irving in front of a firing squad and hand him a pink slip and tell him hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more?
Okay, I'm gonna say this and then I gotta run. I still want Kyrie. All right, I know that's a controversial comment, but I think him and Luka can pair well. All right, I gotta run, but 2 p.m. we should have a live version of Cold Sports. If
that's right.
Still on the schedule, yes.
Yes.
And 8 p.m. Poppy J and Wise, and I'll catch you guys on the flip.
It's a good chance, baby.
Right.
See you, Ben.
Right.
Peace.
And the BS3 Network will host my live call of Game 6 of the Stars and the Kraken live from the Seattle Center Coliseum. 17,000 people are going to be maniacs in that joint. Stars lead 3-2. They look to clinch. Seattle looks to force a Game 7 on Monday. Should that happen, I'll have that one also. But yeah, I've seen a lot of folks on YouTube, get their play-by-play chops in shape. And there's a fellow by the name of Jason Joseph who goes by the name JJ. He has a channel, Play by Play with JJ. Y'all need to go subscribe to that because he puts in a lot of work in his on his craft. And I've listened to a few of his calls, and he's absolutely fabulous. And I am coaching him as well. So he's gotten a lot of practice. He's getting more practice. I'm going to mentor him, and he's going to mentor me with my setup, so I can use a couple of extra weapons to really put it together. So go subscribe to Play by Play with JJ. You will not be disappointed. We're a few minutes away from you know who, so let's pause for a break, and when we come back, we close the show out the way you're used to on a Friday. Back after this.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
That's why we here on this platform.
Marriage, a loving splendor, a daily grind. Such is the case when Damien and Jamie get together and chop it up, for marriage is real.
Let's just lay it all out here. Let's just be real with it.
Join this wonderful couple who keeps it real and always in love. BS3 Network proudly presents Marriage is Real, where love is the only thing that matters. Live every Tuesday at 8:30 Central. Oh, and Jamie has something to say.
Deuces and trays.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
The original Think drink is back. Level up with proven ingredients formulated to crush your competition. No gimmicks, no jitters, no messing around. Just high-potency results that keep you moving day or night. There's a new nerd in town, and we came to play. Nerd Focus, smarter than energy.
The following is a public service announcement from Wise El Jefe.
Boston.
This has been a public service announcement from Wise El Jefe. And now, the transporter to Hades, the reformer of hooker whores, and the bronze god, the one, the only, the legendary Chris Bay.
Man, that is a perfect intro. Ladies and gentlemen, the man, the legend, no myth. His name is Chris Bass. He joins us right now. Good morning, my brother. Wonderful to have you back.
Good morning, man.
It's always great to be here. As always, to go around the romper room, black version. We say good morning, of course, to the Rain Man, and good morning, of course, good morning to the Mad Scientist, and good morning to everybody in the comment section, and a hearty boom shakalaka to all.
Oh my gosh.
All right. What's in the boom shakalaka on this particular Friday?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I tell you, watching Denver get rid of the Suns in the 4-2 series, Jokovic is the man without fear.
Yes.
Literally.
He is.
I have seen ball players like anybody else, but this dude is the real deal. If you have to categorize, and myself being a superhero comic book fan, like I said, Daredevil, the man without fear. This man can do it on both sides of the court, and it doesn't look pretty, but it gets the job done.
Exactly.
As long as you get the job done, it doesn't matter about style and flair. What he's doing is his own style and flair. So what do you have, like 32 points, 10 rebounds, and 12 assists?
Mm-hmm.
He's uncanny. He is an uncanny ball player, and I'm telling you, with him and Denver, you got to take another. If you didn't look at them before, give them another look. They're the real deal to be messed with. You can't. You got to come correct.
And they are healthy. Jamal Murray is back as his running mate. You mentioned Nikola Jokic doing his thing, and you said the key thing. It ain't pretty, but it gets the job done. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, anyone? The most indefensible shot in the NBA, and Nikola Jokic is so reminded me of that. And what I noticed last night during the game is that every time Jokic scored a basket, he didn't jog back down the court. He sprinted to get back in defensive position. You don't see that much anymore.
Well, it goes back to assignment and the style of the player. So if the player is just offensive minded, he's not going to get back on defense. He's going to backpedal a little bit and everything else because he's offensive oriented. So depending on how the coaching styles are per team, and everybody has their role, that goes back to that. But that dude is uncanny, and so I get a joy of watching him. And like I said before, you got to take a look at Denver now. Say what you want about the Lakers, but what I like about certain teams is names that come off the bench and get the job done.
Lonnie Walker.
Walker Ford, that dude, man. It's about being ready. This dude's beyond ready. The way he was lighting up, he could start from another team if he wanted to. That's how good he is. And for
he
him
did
to be
for
inserted,
the Spurs for a while. He
Exactly.
did start for the Spurs for a while under Greg Popovich, but they traded him to the Lakers. And in game 4, Walker rode to the rescue for the Lakers because the Golden State was ready to put that game away.
I'm still for Golden State. I would like to see Golden State do one more run as champions, and then pretty much gonna, go from there. I don't think, I don't think Green will be there next year. I think he'll be. He might go to the Lakers the way he keeps kissing LeBron's behind. But that's a whole conversation within itself. But that's okay. That's part of the business. But the fact remains is, when you look at these other players come off the bench, you never heard of before, and get their get their shine, it is amazing. I mean, I was impressed, beyond impressed.
Lonnie Walker for the Lakers, Moses Moody for Golden State. He came up huge in game 5 and helping Golden State run away and put that game away. But here's something that Cole and I have talked about endlessly, and the chat has talked about it with us. I've had so many people ask me, what has Stephen Curry done to, leave his imprint on the NBA? Because, everyone's kissing LeBron's ass. And I have a simple statement about Stephen Curry and the Splash Brothers. They took an anomaly and they turned it into a weapon. And that, of course, is the 3-point line. If you want to challenge Golden State like the Lakers have, you got to come out and get them. Okay? And I will say my statement again. They took because the 3-point shot until they arrived was an anomaly. How many teams were taking more than 10 3-point shots in a quarter, let alone a game? But when Stephen Curry came along, he took an anomaly and turned it into a weapon.
Look, when back in the day when the Globetrotters, Harlem Globetrotters would come to town, when you had Metal Lock Lemon and Curly Neal and those guys.
Yeah.
They would use incredible trick shots like from like a hook from half court and things like that. Now we've seen that implemented into a professional game.
Yes.
We've seen that now. When you think about the distance that Steph Curry can shoot the ball, literally has put his imprint and changed the game. Like I said before, you see youngster get on the court, what do they want to do? They want to be Steph.
Right.
That's what I've heard. That's what I've seen. And they want to shoot the lights out. They want to go to the parking lot instead and shoot the ball from there. So when you're able to get into a sport and change it from within, you have to acknowledge it. It's just as simple as that.
Absolutely. And again, it goes back to the statement that I said and the statement Cole piggyback off of. He took an anomaly and turned it into a weapon. And Cole Johnson followed it up on Cole Sports, check that channel out, by saying the Warriors, recognizing that, took that weapon and turned it into a strategy, which now, with the NBA being a copycat league, all the teams have tried being the operative word, to copy.
And if you think that's a shot in the dark analysis, 2009, the NBA, every NBA team on average in the game took and attempted 8 threes. Now that number's jumped to 23. Each team takes on average 23 threes in the game. And you mean tell me that Steph Curry does not have an influence on the game?
Well, that's what they want to say. They want to say Steph hasn't had an influence on the game. And here's the other thing. And Tim Roy, the voice of the world champion Warriors, and a friend of mine, had a segment where he talked to Chris Paul. Tim Roy's Journal is the segment back in 2009 when Steph was drafted, and Chris Paul even said, people will say, "Oh, he's just a shooter. He's just a shooter." But then the first thing that Paul meant, that CP3 mentioned, and this is true 14 years later, he knows how to set screens and slip. 6'3", 200 pounds. He knows how to set screens and slip. So don't tell me Steph doesn't have the fundamentals of the game down pat.
Yeah, because to me the most underrated aspect of his game is the fact that he can read a half court with the ball or without the ball, and without the ball, he doesn't just run out to the perimeter to shoot a three. He does the hole too. That takes a lot of discipline and a lot of fundamentals and understanding of what you're supposed to do in a given offensive set.
Did you just cuss and say the F word?
Yeah, I cursed.
Yeah. We say it all. We four say it all the time. And I want to go to base with this one because Base and I have talked about it so many times over. Fundamentals are missing right now in the NBA. And yet you have a team like Golden State, like San Antonio that thrive, and Denver. And Denver, for that matter,
Denver is a beast in fundamentals.
Denver is nothing to mess with. But the point I'm making is this, and like I said, I'm going to come to base with this. Fundamentals are missing. And yet you have teams like Golden State, like Denver, and like San Antonio with Greg Popovich that thrive on fundamentals.
I'm glad that you mentioned the clarity of the F word because I thought Cole actually cussed. And I missed it. I thought you said fudge.
No,
I didn't hear fudge.
No, you heard
even fundamental. Now, thank you for clarification because I was like, "Hey, I missed that word." But going back to fundamentals, you are exactly right. What happens, I think, in sport, like anything else you just mentioned before, Rayman, about copycat, and so that's in any profession. If they do it, let's do it now. I mean, case in point, and this is just my gray matter, like with CNN. So, of course, we probably know, some people know, they had the town hall meeting with Donald Trump on CNN. But what's happening, as far as I'm concerned, I'll address it tonight on my program today, later on Baseline, what you're trying to do is copycat to get ratings.
Of course.
So you have Trump on. He's good for sound bites. He's good for that type of, I don't know, I won't call it theater of the mind, probably theater of the asshole, but that's what it is. And so when you watch that unfold, you do what you do to get ratings. So you're all right. You're definitely correct in your assessment. Everybody copycats. For example, CNN that night brought in 3.1 million viewers. So now you gotta go for there because CNN is tanking. So they'll do whatever it takes, even the copycat Fox or anybody else, just to get ratings. So you're absolutely right. In any profession, if they can do, we can do it too. But that's not necessarily the case. You can look at them, see what their formula is, and create your own thing if you need to. That's too much like right. So the lazy thing is, if don't get me wrong, sometimes it's successful because, like, it's like the scene from Coming to America. All beef, special sauce, cheese, pickles, onions on the bun. My bun has no seeds, but it's you copycat. So that's what happens. So we're used to. Oh, my man! Shout out to Wise El Jefe. How you doing, man? I didn't get a chance to say good morning to you.
I'm good, brother. I'm good. How you doing?
And not too shabby for an old man. Good to see you here. Thank you for being here as always. But
always a pleasure to listen to you speak, brother.
Oh man, look, I'm glad somebody's listening. Jeez,
we all are. We all are listening, and if y'all haven't had a chance to catch Baseline on Fridays, I suggest you do. It's must see programming, and Base, you always are entertaining when you do Baseline because there is a subject in there that's everything that is serious that he does talk about each week, but then he puts that flair on it. He puts that. Exactly. He puts a whole lot of that on it. All right, he puts a whole lot of that on it.
I'll share this with you. I was working at a radio station, and one of the other hosts that was coming on later on that day had come in early. So we were talking. I was just leaving the show. He was like, yes, Chris, I heard your program. And I want to let you know that Baseline is informative and somewhat entertaining.
Somewhat?
And I was somewhat. No. I laughed my ass off. I said, man, say that again. Your show is informative and somewhat entertaining. He reminded me of Sam the Eagle from the Muppets. He had that demeanor, straightforward, no nonsense type of thing. Right. And he was a good dude. I liked him a lot. So I use that as my mission statement for my show. Baseline, informative and somewhat entertaining. So I always thank him for that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's a great Friday program, folks. So like I said,
and thank you for having me be part of the show every week. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. No, I did. Again, it makes not only the 1/4 of my Native American heart sore, but my whole heart, and that goes a long way. So I always thank you for this time. I was starting to recommend documentaries and docs on this program. If you have not seen it, please look at Kevin Garnett. Anything is possible. Kevin Garnett is a fantastic storyteller.
Oh, he's one of the best storytellers in basketball history. I will say that to anybody.
Thank you.
Yes.
He is classic theater of the mind. You can picture it. You can see it in your mind. And from someone, again, who have paved the way in modern time for people guys to come out early at 18 years old out of high school. Once upon a time ago, the only person that he could relate to was the ball boy back in Minnesota.
Yeah.
That was his only friend at one point. And for him to have emerged to where he has become, man, I had nothing but love for the brother. I mean, to go from that to becoming a champion with the Boston Celtics and everything else, they got to do right by Minnesota.
And he screamed the name of his documentary, Anything is Possible. And I want people to believe that. Anything is possible. Down to Texas, let's welcome Rapid Dave, one half of the Strikeout Beer podcast. Rapid Dave, good morning to you, my friend. Thanks for tuning in to the program. We're all over the place this morning, and we're talking about Kevin Garnett and his documentary, Anything is Possible. When he screamed that in the post-game interview after they beat the Lakers in Game 6.
The post-game to clinch a championship.
2008. I wrote it down, and I'm in the process right now, after everything I've been through the last couple of years, and I'm turning that into a poster and going to have that as one of my backgrounds. And I'm going to have that as one of my virtual backgrounds. If I don't get it done this afternoon for Sports Senseis at noon, I'll have it for the Brian Snow Show at 2:00. Anything is possible, and you can do anything. And something my late father, used to tell me all the time: anything you set your mind to, you can do it. Period.
Your father was right and is right.
He said that to me and walked away. No explanation, nothing.
Yep.
He put his arm around me before I went away to college. I mean, he used to do it all the time, slip that message to me while I was in school, especially high school, and I was doggedly pursuing trying to be valedictorian of my senior class, came up short, wound up ranked 5th in the class. But before I went away to college, the day that he was going to ride the train, the day that he left to take the train to go back home to Chicago, he put his arm around me after I got moved in, and he said, always remember, anything and everything is possible. And then he gave me a kiss on the forehead. I gave him a tight hug, and he walked away. I take that with me every single day. That day in August of 1990. August of 1990 was the month I really grew up. Did I finish college? No. Did I learn a lot that year I was away at Northeast Missouri State? You're damn right I did.
I'm sure you did.
Because Dad would call and check on me daily. If I'm not in the room, he left a message with my roommates, and I immediately called him. Now, there were times where my mother called to check on me, but to be perfectly honest, when Dad called, I responded quick.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't matter how long it took me to get to him. If someone got a word to me that my dad called, zip.
Yep, dropped
I
everything.
sit back in the room and I dropped what I was doing and I went and called him. Mm-hmm. And 99% of the time it was, how are you doing? Are you doing okay? Do you need anything? And once I told Dad, I was so distraught being away from home. I said, Dad, I need another care package. He and Mom had one to me in 48 hours.
That's love, man.
He and Mom put a package together, had it to me in 48 hours because I was struggling. Let me be absolutely real. I was struggling bad.
Well, I mean,
and
that's obvious. That was the first time you were really away from home for that long stretch. Yeah, any 18-year-old would struggle.
Yeah.
It
was right after
I know how that feels.
Right after we came back for second semester, right after we came back for the new year. And I didn't bring a lot of stuff back with me. And I'm sitting in my room and I'm crying. I had my schedule. I had everything together and I'm crying. I called Dad. Whenever I felt like that, I called my dad. And he heard me crying and the first thing out of his mouth, what do you need? I said, how fast can y'all get a care package to me? And he said, give us a day. Your mother and I will fix that. Didn't say bye or anything. He just hung up the phone. And 48 hours later, I get a message in my mailbox. You have a package waiting for you. I go pick up the package and it's heavy as hell, but they stuffed a lot of canned food in it. They stuffed a lot of snacks in it that weren't perishable. And then I found an envelope in that box.
Yep.
I'm like, what in the world? There was $250 in that envelope.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom and dad had a note: deposit immediately. Use wisely. I marched my happy ass to the bank of Kirksville and shoved the envelope in front of them. They said, "What can we do for you, Mr. Snow?" Drop it. And I walked out. The 1990-91 year. And it was such a formative year for me. Now, it's true when you're growing up, and you all know this, it's true when you're growing up through your elementary and high school years. And I'm about to cry because I remember my dad, just being there. So y'all forgive me in advance. Yeah, those are formative years. But that year, 1990, when I went away, toughest year of my life, but the most formative year of my life. Because Dad was there the whole time. Dad was there the whole time. And I miss him. I miss him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, y'all. I just miss Dad.
That's all right, man.
No need to apologize.
Don't apologize for that.
I just miss my dad. And the recent news that I got in February that I'm in remission from cancer made me cry even more because it took him and it took my mom. Those are just two reasons why I work so hard at what I do. Because they believed. I still feel their belief. Every morning when I turn this on.
Yeah, it's understandable, man. Yeah, we seem to learn the biggest lessons at the most trying of times. So it's understandable that you could think about those lessons and understand how important that person is in those times and in those moments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Bass. Go ahead, sir.
No, it's all right. No, I was recalling about my father. I was 22 when my dad passed away. About 21, 22, I was in college, and I've always said that the death of my father was the birth of my manhood.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I didn't experience that, but I could totally understand that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I had my first daughter, Brianna, was born. She was 6 months. I was a new father. A whole new life of me being a dad. I was like, I felt sorry for her. Oh my God, you got me for a dad. I feel sorry for you already holding her. And so, you gotta get your life right. You gotta get your life together and take on this whole new journey responsibility. And so, I've always, the first 7 years for me of Father's Day was rough because the last time I saw my dad was on Father's Day. And then he passed away 4 days later. And I didn't feel right. We only spent Father's Day one time together. And after that, that was it. And I was looking forward. I wanted to lean on him for information and what do I do as a father and get his insight and everything else, but it wasn't there. So God never makes mistakes. We do what we have to do, and we do our best to move forward. But it's one of those things where if you're a control freak, you can't control life.
No.
Good Lord. That's a nugget.
You sure can't. You sure can't. We got 120 seconds left. So, Bass, always an honor, an absolute honor to have you on the show. And if y'all haven't checked out Baseline Fridays 5 p.m., you better check it out. It is must see. It is must see viewing. And search out Chris Bass and search out his knowledge because there's a lot of it to be had. And he always drops a lot of it here on this program where we just bring them on and we turn them loose.
Oh man, well look, Facebook.com, CHRIS, B as in broadcasting, ASE. You see my likeness, you see me with the exact same sunglasses on, looking quite dapper and debonair, and then become friends and then take it from there. It's about knowledge, man. You should see me when I'm drunk. That's a whole different conversation.
When you're drunk?
Man, when I'm drunk, woo!
And he dropped bars. That's sad.
Yeah.
Drunk.
Yep. He did. He did.
Feel it. Nothing can save you. This is the season of catching the vapors.
You got the vape.
Ladies and gentlemen, Biz Marquis in the house.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bass. We love
Thank you, brother.
Thank you so.
And also, real quick,
Shoot, brother.
Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Absolutely. Enjoy
Happy
yourself.
Mother's Day to all the Happy Mother's Day to all the moms. Thank you, Bass.
Love you, Ben.
Love you, brother.
Love you more. Take care. Have a great weekend.
Take care, brother.
And now, the transporter to Hades. the reformer of hooker whores, and the bronze god, the one, the only, the legendary Chris Bay.
Thank you to Zoom party host Omar for joining, Sick Diggy, and all the rest of our rowdy friends in the chat. We got to go. Have a great weekend. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you,
and they are not big enough. And remember, Cole Sports on the Cole Sports YouTube channel, live, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central. Check us out.
Gonna love it. Going to love it. And I dropped this present for Cole before we go. Cole Sports will also be repeated 5 days a week on Snowman Multimedia, SM Sports, and SM Sports 2, if you accept, sir.
Oh, sure. Thank you.
All right. Y'all heard it. And it will
What's he supposed to say? No?
I'm just, look, I
want to be on blast on the air. Of course, you're going to say yeah.
But I want this is me confirming and verifying everything as I always do, especially with Wise and with Cole. So check out snowmanmultimediasports.com for all of the programming notes, which I'm going to update here in the next few minutes. We are out of here. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms, and we'll see y'all on Monday. We're out.
Peace. See ya.
The following is a public service announcement from Wise El Jefe.
Boston.
This has been